I'm Lori, and welcome to my house. Today I'm starting a project on my bathroom, and I'm so excited because ever since I moved into this house, this bathroom has driven me nuts. It's decorated really, I don't know if it's 80s, early 90s. It's really outdated, and I'm so excited to get it fixed. So let me show you what we're dealing with here. So this is the bathroom. You can see we've got some lovely wallpaper that looks like, I guess it's supposed to be like antique newsprint with a border, and don't forget a chair rail just in case you have a chair in here, I guess, I don't know, and different wallpaper on the bottom. So the first step is going to be removing the chair rail. Second step is going to be removing the wallpaper. That's what I'm kind of hoping to tackle today, but I'll just give you the grand tour here, the before tour. So we have these mirrors. I'm not sure if I'm keeping those mirrors or not. We'll see how it goes. Same goes for that light fixture. I think I want to get rid of it, but I'm not sure I can find one that is going to work better, so we'll see. The lovely little glass knick-knack shelf, that's definitely going. Vanity, I'm going to paint. As you can see, we've got probably the original 1970s vanity that came with the house. And although it's fine, it's solid and it's in good shape, I can't stand the dark wood, so I'm going to paint it white. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm going to change out all those knobs and handles as well. We'll see how that goes. So the wallpaper and the beautiful chair rail continue all the way around. The shower is okay. I'm going to leave that. And again, the wallpaper and the chair rail continue. I have 1, 2, 3 mismatched towel racks, none of which are the same, you can see. Toilet roll holder, also not the same. And the shelf over here, again, different design. So I'm going to just try and make that a little more consistent, lose the shelf. Put a piece of artwork there maybe. And this medicine cabinet, I don't understand. The previous owners were only 2 people living in the house. They added that medicine cabinet despite having this big of a vanity. I can't imagine what 2 people had to store in a bathroom that took up that much space. So even with 4 of us in the house, I don't need that medicine cabinet, and it doesn't match, and it's in the way, so it's going as well. I think that'll help clean up the look of this bathroom. I already removed the window treatment they had, which was one of those 1980s puffy valances, so that's been taken down some time ago. But I do have some holes to fill and some recocking to do on that window as well, so that's another job. So I'm going to get started on the removal of the chair rail and the wallpaper, and I'll check in with you in a bit. Look at that, like magic, it's coming off. Big mess, and a bare wall underneath, I'm excited to report. The wall is not too bad, so this is exciting news, this section anyway. We'll see how it goes the rest of the way around the room, but looks like I just have primer on top of drywall under here, and you know, some holes from the mirrors and all that kind of stuff. That's where one of those mirrors was. So I took the mirrors down, at least for now, because obviously they had wallpaper behind them. The cabinet is gone. It was there above the toilet, you may recall. And the chair rail came off like nothing, came off very easily, so I'm happy about that. And I am working on the wallpaper, as you can see, so it's time consuming and a tedious job, but not difficult. So I'll get back to it and I'll show you when I'm done. And the wallpaper is gone. Wallpaper 0, Lori 1. I'm really happy. I am finally done stripping all that wallpaper. It was so much. It looks like a small room, but wallpaper is stubborn. So it actually came off okay. I basically used this big sponge and water and just kept wetting it and scraping, wetting and scraping till it came off. I did find some interesting holes. Like got a nice big one there, so just put my hand there so you can see how big that hole is. It's pretty big. Lots of mess over here. Lots of little messy spots like that, all over the place. So it's probably gonna honestly be another whole weekend of filling holes and fixing holes and mudding and sanding before I get this to a condition that's paintable. But that is next weekend's problem. Good morning. We're back in my bathroom. This is a week later now. So last week I stripped off all the wallpaper and exposed some holes and all kinds of fun stuff. So this week I'm going to be cleaning the walls, fixing up all the holes, and getting everything ready to paint. Hoping that this weekend I can get up to the stage of priming the walls so that they're then ready for painting, which will be the shortest part of the job. But right now I'm going to fill in all the holes this weekend and smooth everything out, sand it off. And I'm also going to work on the caulking around the trim and see if I can get that off and replace it with some paintable caulking so it'll look nicer in the end. I want to show you the big hole that I fixed last night. So I showed you at the end of the last little bit there that there was a big hole, and it's really hard to see on camera, but I did fix it here. I used a method called California Patch, which a friend of mine told me about, and it worked great. I cut out a square around the hole, and then I cut out a square out of fresh drywall of the same size, trimmed off a little bit of an edge on it so that it was just the paper edge of the drywall, and then used that sort of as if it were drywall tape to seal it up. So still really rough right now. I just did this last night, so I haven't sanded it or anything yet, but I'm really happy with how it came out. So I'm going to remember that method when I have larger holes to fill. The smaller ones, of course, like these little guys here, I'm just going to fill today with some mud and sand them off. We'll check in later. Here we are back in my bathroom again. It's Sunday now, Sunday afternoon, and at this point I did scrape off all the caulking yesterday as much as I could, and I patched all the holes and finished sanding them this morning. So now I'm just about to start priming, and I'll give you a little quick look. So right here I just started priming. You can probably barely see, there's one roll of primer there. I scraped off all the caulking mess, so I kind of still have a mess there, which I'm going to try to fix today with paintable caulking, so it'll be a lot easier to hide. And all the many holes and imperfections that I could find have been patched. I am going to prime the whole walls because there were so very many spots that I had to fix. I normally wouldn't on walls that had been painted already, but since there was so much mess to fix, including our favorite one over here that looks great now. Can't wait to get primer on there and make it disappear totally. But because there were so many holes and so many imperfections, I'm just going to go ahead and prime the whole walls and just be done with it so that it'll paint really nicely on top. Check in soon. Welcome back to my bathroom. So this is weekend number 3 of working on the bathroom, and hopefully going to be the final weekend as well. It's close to the end of the day Saturday. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon Saturday, and I've been working on this bathroom since about 10:30 this morning, and I have accomplished not much that you can see, but I have accomplished a lot. The trim is all painted and the doors are all painted, so they're all nice and white now, the trim and the doors. And I also have taken apart and almost finished painting the vanity. So there's a sneak peek of the white that's going on the vanity. I'm using chalk paint for the first time ever, and it's going great. So I'm just going to show you the doors. Here are the doors all propped up, drying, so they're white. They've had 2 coats of chalk paint on them, but the great thing about chalk paint, of course, for anyone who doesn't already know, is that you don't have to sand or prime or anything. You just slap it on and it sticks to anything. So it's a little teeny tiny can like that for like almost $40, but it does a great job, and I've only used half the can and I'm almost done painting my whole vanity, so it's really well worth it to save all that time and hassle. So the doors are drying. I have new knobs for them, and they're going to go on obviously once they're dry and I put the vanity back together. I'll check in with you tomorrow and show you hopefully the finished product. Oh no! Look what happened! When I put the sealant on these cupboard doors, it must have had a reaction with the metal underneath, and look it's gone this weird green color. I don't know what to do. So I had to decide if I want to try and sand it off, if I want to paint over it, or leave it. I don't think I'm going to leave it because it's not consistent. That's the worst. Some of them are not as bad. See, that one's not so bad. So I don't know what to do. I will figure it out, and I'll give you an update in a bit. It's done, it's done, it's done! I can't wait to show you. Ta-da! It's done! There's the green. This is the shower curtain. And new towel rack. Some nice shelves. Kept the mirrors. Kept the light. New towel rack there that matches. The toilet roll holder down here. And the vanity is all white. I still have some touch-ups to do, but I am overall pretty darn happy with how this bathroom came out. And it was a ton of work, but I'm very, very happy with how it came out. So a couple other things I just wanted to add at the end of the video here. I mentioned a couple times in the video about caulking. I was just watching over it and I realized I mentioned about caulking, but I didn't really explain what I was doing. So just in case you're wondering, around the trim, around the baseboards, the previous person, whoever did it, used silicone caulking, which isn't paintable. And it was really sloppy. It wasn't just like a little tiny bit of silicone to fill the crack. It was really, really sloppy. So it was really messy. It was hard to keep clean, and you can't paint it. So it just sits there and it really sticks out. It doesn't blend in with the trim at all. So what I did was I scraped it all off, which is really hard to do because it's meant to stay on, right? So it was a bit of a task to get it off. I scraped it all off with a special caulking scraping tool that I found at Lowe's. And then I replaced all that caulking with paintable caulking, which is the latex and silicone mix, so that paint will still stick to it. And because you can paint over it, it's much, much easier to wipe it clean, which is really important in a bathroom. So that was the one thing. And the other thing was I mentioned a couple times that I was going to replace the knobs on the vanity, but I did not replace the knobs because, and I'll show you why here. So the knobs on the vanity, as you can see, are the same ones. I could not get this backplate piece off. I probably could have if I tried harder, but I tried to just pop it off. I thought maybe it would just pop off. It doesn't, and there's no screw in the back of it, so I couldn't figure out how to get it off. And so rather than trying to destroy the doors trying to get them off, I left them on and painted them with chalk paint. And then you saw in the previous video the little episode I had with the chalk paint sealer turning them green. So what I did was I sanded them a little bit to get the green off, and then the brass underneath kind of shone through. So it looks sort of cool, I think, now. And I just put the original porcelain knobs back on. They were actually nice knobs. I put them on and then I just touched up the paint behind, again with the chalk paint. So it looks pretty good, I think. I thought that the brush nickel knobs that I had bought wouldn't have looked right with the back plates. and the back plates weren't going anywhere, so I had to work with the situation as it was. And that's the story of my bathroom makeover. I hope you found it amusing and entertaining, and who knows what project I'll do next.